Hello, everyone. On our podcast show this week, we have a special guest. Michael Barton from MTS is joining us all the way from one of his world travels. We'll talk a little bit more about that because we have something interesting to explore with him to do with Japan and becoming a citizen. We're going to have some more questions about that. But for right now, Winston and I and Michael are going to do a fun game that we try to do every once in a while. It's called News Round Robin. I just made that up, by the way. I don't know what to call it, but if you can think of a better name, please let us know in the comments below. At any rate, each of us picked 2 topics to talk about this week from the world of techie or somewhat techie adjacent news. And because he's the guest, Michael, you're going to start it off this week.
What have you got first? Threw me right in the fire. Let's talk about DeepSeek.
Okay.
What do you know about DeepSeek so far?
It is deep, it seeks, and it sends it all to China.
Okay.
Does it send to China, though? Does it really? I'm just saying.
What do you think?
Where are the servers, anyway?
The servers are, China-based.
More China-based.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I've heard that it was cheaper to make it versus NVIDIA's solutions, right? And it took like probably less time to develop and some stuff like that. So you probably know a little bit more about this, right? So tell us, is it cheaper to make DeepSeek?
I think DeepSeek is misrepresenting the cost by a magnitude of 10.
All right. So they underreporting. So
Yes.
basically what China does a lot with their reports. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
so-
one other thing is I want to know, are they actually using their own chips or NVIDIA's chips?
Definitely NVIDIA. Any claims that they're using anything but NVIDIA chips are a blatant lie.
All right. Okay.
I'm going to listen to your story and hopefully you don't cover this part because I think I got something.
Okay.
something
I mean,
carry on.
just to start with, so on the marketplace right now, if you look up for 4090s, you will see a odd amount of 4090s with no GPU, no VRAM. And it's just the PCBs on eBay, thousands and thousands of listings. I wonder where all those chips went.
Interesting.
So I have a theory. This is just non-confirmed rumor. But I believe what they're doing is taking those 4090 dies and transplanting them into any sort of server situation.
What we know is all NVIDIA's AI chips, right? They're probably, most of them are made in Taiwan, TSMC probably, right? And we know that 4090s, all the consumer graphics card for gaming, they're all based, or most of them are made by Asus, MSI, Gigabyte.
Right.
On their production lines are in China. So therefore, I can see the connection there. So they're using gaming GPUs for their
For the actual AI.
Yeah.
Now, there's also rumors in Singapore that many enterprise H100s have gone missing. And hundreds of GPUs are suddenly not found.
So I heard the story. This is related to that. That was actually my thing is that 28% of all of the sales in Singapore, only 1% were delivered domestically. And we're wondering where the other 27% went.
I think I have an idea.
Interesting.
I wonder.
Yeah.
And that goes in line with, there's no way that costs $10 million, which is what DeepSeek claims that it costs to do its training and its data. I believe, again, rumor mill, but I'm pretty sure it's just trained on OpenAI.
Okay.
There are very clever ways to track how an AI model is learned. And OpenAI has claimed that someone recently has pulled a lot of data and in a very peculiar way from the site.
So they're using OpenAI. So AI training AI.
Yes.
This doesn't help the CEO of TikTok, who actually is a Singaporean business person.
Yes. Yeah. So I know that with DeepSeek, the thing with DeepSeek is they make claims cheaper and so on. Everybody's jumping on it, but there are no real case use for it. And also, do you trust a third identity from another country, AIs to handle all your personal data, stuff like that? I wouldn't really go for that, really.
Well, to that point, it's open source. It's not like you can't just take it and make it your own.
Right.
Because there's other companies out there. We've met them. Cerebras from Sunnyvale. They actually are one of the fastest inferences for DeepSeek. They localize the installation and they actually run it on servers that are insulated from China. So there are, I think for use cases, because of how advanced it is so far, and because of the open source nature, there might be a lot you can do with it.
I agree. Honestly, DeepSeek is very close to GPT 4.0. And as you guys know, like OpenAI doesn't, they don't open source their models. So DeepSeek is the closest we can have for a localized model of, 4.0. Now, do you want to morally use a model that was trained on someone else's? But also at the end of the day, what was OpenAI trained on? Which publicly sourced everyone else's data. That's right.
Oh my God.
Well, how easy is it to get, for example, support? For example, imagine if I was a solutions provider, I took my model from DeepSeek as my main AI kind of platform. And if I run into problems, who do I find? Who do I look for? Who do I?
If you're the solutions provider, you're going to be responsible for that support, right? So you need to have those engineers who can take that apart.
If you went for someone like OpenAI, would OpenAI help you out? For example, or if you go with NVIDIA solution, then you have NVIDIA support, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
If you will go for DeepSeek, can you find DeepSeek support locally in US?
That's a good question, honestly.
Canada, or whatever.
Yeah,
otherwise, you have to go to China.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So
I think you would just take that as shipped
the problem is, especially with US and Canada, probably, you have something called export controls, including data, right? So you can't just go in and say, "Hey, I want some data from China," or I guess I made it, vice versa. So that's one of the problems we had with the self-driving cars, right? The data pulled from China can't be used in US, and vice versa.
Yeah. So, and when we come back from this little technical glitch, we'll be talking about another topic, so stay tuned. Okay, and we're back. Just a little bit of a false alarm here. When DJI has really great software, but sometimes when it throws these random things on the screen, it gave me this image that said slow. And I thought it was actually recording our entire podcast in slow motion. But no, it was actually just the rotation of the gimbal, because we are recording on the Pocket 3. You should check out that episode of our podcast where we talk a little bit more about that. Yeah. But
great,
it's a great device, but sometimes it just has this UI thing that kind of freaks me out. And then the screen went black for a second. So I'm like, I wonder if the thing's overheating, because sometimes when you do slow motion, it can't overheat. Anyway, let's continue on. Who wants the ball next?
Have we finished with DeepSeek?
Did you have anything more to add?
No, mostly just the security and is the rumors real? Are they, Well, okay, let's move on. I've got something new. iPhone 16e.
Oh, what does the E stand for?
I have no idea. I mean, SE, I understand, second edition or something like that.
Special edition, but is it like E for everyone?
E for everyone, I suppose. It's meant to be the upgrade to the SE, right? So looking at the iPhone specs, it says it's up to 90% faster than the SE. 90%.
Wait, hold on. When did the last SE come out?
I don't know. Quite a few years ago.
Okay, so it's 90% faster than a 3-4-year-old phone?
Yeah. Actually, wait there. It gives you a list. So it's 90% faster than the second edition SE. So that was a while back, because they have a list from iPhone 11 to iPhone SE second edition, second generation.
Yeah.
Then the iPhone 12, iPhone Mini, then iPhone SE third edition. So they're looking back like 1, 2, 3, almost 4 previous models.
4 years.
4 or 5. Yeah.
If it's not,
we're on iPhone 16 now, right? So
look, if it's not at least 90% faster, I would be extremely disappointed.
We're doing something wrong.
So there you go. iPhone SE second edition, 80% faster, and GPU performance 70% faster, 70.
Okay.
And it comes with 8 gigs RAM.
Okay.
So your Samsung uses 12, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, iPhone 8, the iOS 18, right? So it has all the Apple intelligence. Mm-hmm. It uses the newer chip, A18, which is the only thing that's going for it, I suppose. Yeah, A18.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the second edition. It's the E, right? So we have less cameras.
Yeah. So
the normal one has 3 cameras.
Okay.
But the you get less 2 cameras, but it's a unified camera. So it has it's supposed to does everything, right? Telephoto.
Okay.
Zoom and stuff like that. But you only get 1 camera, and I guess it's more of an update rather than a new phone.
It's like a refresh.
Yeah, refresh.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Is this one going to have AI capabilities?
Yes, Apple Intelligence.
is that really AI though?
That's a good question.
Is it really?
Future-proof and fast. Ooh, here you go. Latest generation chip, which is the A18. It's got a 4-core GPU. So the 16 has the 5-core and above.
Okay.
So it's less cores. Okay. I guess everything is about the same, I guess.
I can think of two things that kind of suck on it, depending on who you are.
Yeah.
Number one, it has Apple's new C1
C1. C1 modem.
which is actually a bunch of people from Intel that came from a division that they wanted to desperately sell off because they couldn't make it all work and profit.
Yeah.
Right? So this new C1 chip doesn't have Wi-Fi 6E.
What? So what has it got for Wi-Fi?
It's got Wi-Fi 6,
6.
which is still fine.
Which is
Still fine.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have Wi-Fi 6E. Now we're already on 7.
Yeah.
And we're going on to 7E probably really soon.
Right.
So it's already 3 standards behind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? So
They mentioned that to save costs, that's why it's cheaper, is they scrapped the Qualcomm modem chip because it was more expensive. But they are industry leaders, Qualcomm, for their modem.
but it is better.
It's better. It's a
Right.
little more expensive. So with Apple, you see, they always want to do in-house. They rather use their own rather than paying the licenses, which a lot of companies do
That's
because
true.
they get a better product. They rather have their own in-house. But it takes years for development. So the M chip that they have, the M silicon that they have, took quite a number of years to develop. Actually, they were stuck with Intel for a while. Remember?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then they thought,
Yeah.
and then the first generation M chips, it was okay, but it wasn't great. But the M2, I think it started getting better with the M2 and 3. But again, it takes a couple of years or more for a chip to get developed and stuff like
To
that.
mature, yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
brand new silicon, right?
So the C1, it's the first generation of their own modem chip. So it's going to take a while.
I guess that would
They
be,
have C2 next, maybe.
it really isn't that much of a problem, I don't think, because, most people, they are either a data, but having said that though, is it like, it's not that much faster than 6E, is it?
Yeah.
Like it's marginal. Like by the time you surf the web, most websites are slower than the connection.
I was going to say that too,
Right.
because like Wi-Fi 7, I mean, at this point, it's ridiculous. It's
crazy.
almost 2 gigabit download.
Okay, having said that, I do have a 2.5 gigabyte.
Okay, well then here's the use case. But is your Netflix connection really using it?
It's not. It's not.
No.
At some point, are we just chasing numbers?
As I think I mentioned this in one of the podcasts. Even if you have a 2.5 gig Wi-Fi modem / interface and all that kind of stuff, unless your router is capable of doing that, then your home internet or home Wi-Fi is all down to the bottleneck, which is your router. So
True.
for guys, if you want to upgrade or get a better performance, you need to get a 2.5 gigabit router or higher, which costs quite a bit.
Yeah.
Right?
They're about $400 or $500. They are cheap.
Okay. Now here's something else. Do you think that if your phone didn't have MagSafe built in and you were an iPhone user, would that be a problem?
I mean, MagSafe is one of the biggest selling points, is it not?
It is a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, even some of the Samsung cases that I bought for my Samsung Galaxy S25 S Plus has the MagSafe the case.
And if it doesn't have it, I put this metal ring on the back of mine, so
Yeah.
you can see it, like you can retrofit it. So one of the selling points of iPhones is that they have built-in MagSafe. It's aligned properly to actually, the magnet and everything, all the accessories work together. Well, the SE doesn't have that.
Doesn't have that. So
It doesn't have that.
it's a very cut down version, and it's
Does that
cheaper.
bug you?
But it's just a ring. How
It's a magnetic ring, but it has a lot of accessories that is already into the MagSafe ecosystem.
right?
Battery packs, wallets,
Yeah.
cases, phone grips and holders and gimbals. They all use this MagSafe, and that's
Technology.
one thing that they did well, I suppose, because if it's not MagSafe compatible, then it's not going to work properly.
Right. No,
Is
I
it-
mean, as an Android user, like MagSafe is the one thing that we don't have unless you adapt it.
Yes,
like the
but you
case.
can get cases with the MagSafe ring.
Right,
That's it.
yeah.
And I've got one for my Galaxy.
Mine didn't have a ring, and I just made my own.
Right.
You can make your own, yeah. But the MagSafe cases for Samsung works as well for all the MagSafe compatible accessories.
Okay.
So,
All right.
So presumably then maybe if you're getting that, you can get a similar case potentially.
I suppose,
All right.
because most people will get a
Okay.
case to protect their phone. Anyway.
Hopefully.
So 90% faster from a 4-year-old phone. Doesn't have Wi-Fi 6E, 7, or 7E,
Yeah.
and is missing MagSafe. Is it still an iPhone?
I don't know. Is that a premium device anymore? Does it sound like a premium device?
No, it's not. It's meant to be a cheaper alternative for people who can't afford the Pros and the 16s.
So it's the Apple iPhone 16 economy.
Yeah,
economy. That's what I was going to say.
That's
Economy.
what the E is.
And or a lot of the businesses, corporate businesses. For example, when I was working at GE, they give you an iPhone, just
Okay.
like that, right? So why give you an iPhone 16, 16 Pro, which is a bit more expensive? They just want to check company emails, right? They do a little bit of GE stuff on there.
So
So
16,
16
Enterprise?
E, yeah, E is fine. I think.
Okay.
You know, even
All right.
my wife has a 12 mini,
Still okay?
Okay.
which is for company use, and that hasn't got all the features of the Pro.
So what about the screen? It's is it 90 hertz or is it
I think it's less. Yeah, it's less. It's not a full on.
because it's a 6.7? No, it's a 6.7 inch screen.
6.7. No, it's not 6.7. It's smaller.
Okay.
It's
Oh
smaller.
wow.
So I'm just getting some of the information here. Yeah, it's a smaller screen.
It's not an OLED, is it?
It's not an OLED.
Oh.
No, they're using the Apple's what do you call it?
Retina.
Retina. Standard Retina. Yeah, it's not the Retina, the big one.
Right.
See, I wonder about the refresh rate because if it's like a 60 hertz screen, it is really economy.
Yeah, you kind of see like that stutter. I mean, on a device, the screen I think on the phone matters more than the screen on almost anything.
I
Like you're
agree.
right there on it.
Is the battery bigger?
The
Because that
battery-
would be
No, there's no battery
okay.
bigger.
So they don't talk about that anymore.
Yeah, they
right?
don't.
So-
Yeah, so it's really targeted at the kind of cheaper models.
Like you said, the economy model
yeah.
economy
Or
model.
enterprise.
or enterprise, which is
Enterprise.
essentially economy at scale.
Yes,
But
yes.
they're pushing it because it has the Apple Intelligence. Yeah, Apple Intelligence,
Okay.
and
Do you still have the option to go to ChatGPT if it's not working?
you have that option. Yeah, I
but then
guess.
it's just not localized.
Yeah.
I mean, how is Apple Intelligence? I have never gotten a chance.
it's basically it doesn't do much because look, if I hold it like this, see that pull ring? Now it's in Apple Intelligence mode. And you can ask it things,
Okay.
but it's based on ChatGPT, basically. Yeah.
Sounds like DeepSeek.
So it's just thinking deeper.
Mm.
So
got it.
if Siri can't answer you, then it suggests.
I can't
Right.
answer that
Use
question. Would you like to ask my friend ChatGPT?
Now, let me ask this. Does it work without Wi-Fi or data?
Oh,
Because isn't the
I haven't
point...
tried it because it's always linked up.
It should be localized
Yeah.
because that's the point of having the AI hardware, is
wasn't
it not?
that the reason?
I thought so.
Can I try it now?
Maybe go into airplane mode.
Airplane mode, huh? So maybe I'll try it now. Airplane mode.
Okay. Now let's see if it's smart.
I don't know. Let me just bring it up. Hello? No, I
Oh.
don't want that. I don't want that. What's going on here?
Oh, is it failing? Yeah, most phones are.
Oh, it's doing something. Hey Siri, tell us more about DeepSeek. Sorry, I don't understand.
Mm.
Yeah, it doesn't understand. So yeah.
So, I mean, to me, if you're going to have AR hardware localized, that means you have at least some sort of localized model.
Yeah, so it doesn't have hardware localized. It's relying on pure software, on
Cloud.
processed by the A18 chip that they have or the whatever chip they have.
Okay.
But it's not a hardware based solution, of course. So so all the stuff again sent to cloud probably.
Okay.
Then it gets sent back, but it's saying that it's secure, right?
So this is just Siri on steroids.
Yeah, you can say that.
So
It's
I guess, in a sense, based on this small demonstration, it seems like Apple is overplaying the Apple Intelligence thing. Just just a wee bit, right?
definitely,
I mean, of all the companies out there, it seems like they may be the furthest behind.
Yeah.
They are way behind.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's fair to say that in terms of logistics, Apple is the king. I mean, if you want an iPhone and they've announced it, you can order it tomorrow,
Right.
right? So they've got that all unlocked. Whereas NVIDIA is still trying to figure out how to ship you a 5090 without having to wait, how many, 6 months, a year right? It's a
Weeks and
long
weeks at
time,
least.
right?
Yeah.
And they can't even get, like, people are still scalping them, so they have to bring back their verified gamer program
Here you go.
in the US only, by the way.
It's 6.1 inch
Okay.
Super Retina XDR display. It's
Hertz?
got
How much
hertz.
does
It
hertz?
doesn't say anything about hertz. 800 nits.
Okay.
That's not too bad.
Oh, the dynamic island thing is on the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apple Intelligence A18 chip, 4 cores and 16-core neural engine.
So it does have AI hardware.
It's their neural engine.
Right.
They call it the neural engine.
But it's actually baked into the AAT.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
okay.
6-core CPU, 2 performance cores, and 4 efficiency cores.
Oh, sorry. Maybe that's not an accurate thing. Your phone is doesn't have an A18, does it?
No, not
Okay,
the 15 Pro.
So
no.
my bad. Maybe it does work in the A18.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. I'm stand down. I stand
So-
down with that.
So one camera lens, but it's a 2-in-1 camera system, they call it.
Okay.
48 megapixel, sorry, and all that photo stuff. But it doesn't say how you go. Digital zoom 10 times, 12 megapixel front. The selfie thing.
But like 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner doesn't quite work as well as the stuff that's individual. So I'm just gonna say that right now. It's like probably
Yeah.
not so good.
That's camera stuff and the Face ID, Apple Play. But yeah, there
Okay.
you go. 5G support. Yeah, 5G. Yeah. That's it.
Oh wait, it's missing millimeter wave, so it can't actually do the AirTag finding. It can't do the proper finding.
What they call the ultraband.
Yeah,
ultraband.
it doesn't have.
It doesn't have the ultraband.
It doesn't have millimeter wave 5G and ultraband, which is just missing two things.
Yeah.
So if you're in an area where there's 5G millimeter wave, it doesn't use it, so it won't be fast. And then if you have AirTags, it won't find it to the precision that you're used to.
Yeah.
So this is truly a somewhat. It's less Apple.
Yeah,
It's
that's-
Apple's Wi-Fi 6. Yeah, you're right. Wi-Fi 6, and it's just basically a cut down version of a
Yeah.
iPhone 16. Well, it's 16, I suppose. What you can get now.
Like I would take the other cut downs, but like the two things that make it an Apple experience are ultra wideband for AirTags and also the my goodness, the magnetic thing.
Yeah,
For example,
exactly,
if you
right?
give me the choice of getting this or the iPhone 16, just the standard 16,
Yeah.
and it has 2 lenses anyway with
Yeah.
that one, I'll go for the 16.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
probably about $300-400 a little bit more on top of what you're getting over the
Yeah.
16E, but you're getting a lot more of a phone.
Right.
Oh yeah, a lot more phone.
Yeah,
Feature
than
proof.
this.
And probably, lasting longer.
Yeah, it's gonna last longer.
Yeah, and for example, if you're going to trade this in 16E, look at much. A few years down the line.
Yeah.
So who do you think should buy a 16E at this point?
Buy for your grandma
Gramophone.
or your mom. I mean, actually, no, moms take their photos of the food. Maybe your dad.
No, I'm the dad. I want the best.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, but it's something that really basic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Basic user.
If you're a tech savvy guy, then this wouldn't be the phone,
Okay.
even for
So not
kids.
recommended.
No, I didn't see the point of them releasing this phone.
iPhone 16e. There's no point to it. Okay, let's
They
move
might as well
on.
call it the 60. Might as well call it iPhone SE. I don't know, a different version, like 4th gen, 5th gen, whatever. But I wouldn't call it 16. Well, what's the point?
All right. Okay. Another story coming up. Imagine if you and we know someone that actually has lost a hard drive. So imagine if your hard drive actually contained Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, I know that story.
We've heard this story a couple of
Yeah,
times.
yeah. So this is a common story. People have oh man, I threw out that hard drive. I had Bitcoin on it, 3, 6, whatever. But even one Bitcoin these days is worth what, $100,000, right? So 100,000 US,
Right.
okay, and gone in a tiny little $60 hard drive that came out of your laptop somewhere. Well, imagine if you had $800 million worth of Bitcoin on that hard drive. And it was tossed out because your girlfriend got mad. Yeah. Well, there's a British gentleman.
Yes, he's actually from Wales. Yeah.
Oh, he's from his town. And he wanted to, with a number of investors, come in and buy the dump, the dump that his the landfill, the entire landfill, where his Bitcoin hard drive was rumored to have been thrown out because he thinks that it was thrown out with the trash. He doesn't know for sure though. Right. But I think his girlfriend did say that she threw it out with the trash. So that has been somewhat corroborated. Yeah. So there are investors that want to come in with him to do the dig and sift through all the banana peels, the wasted, spotted dicks and everything from years past. Spotted dicks is a food.
It's a dessert.
It's a dessert, right? That the British people eat, and bangers and mash, right, from many generations back, and go through everything until he can find the $8 million hard drive.
8 million?
800 million.
800
million.
million. Yeah, see, 800 million puts it on a different playing field. Now you're talking it's potentially worth actually pulling that off.
$800 million, and he spent almost $8 million so far looking for it.
Okay.
Right.
Because they're thinking, because that piece of land, the landfill, is actually owned by the council, what we call council, the government, local council. So it's up for sale, actually. The contract ends. So I heard that they're getting the investors into thinking of bidding for the land. Some of the big private land then becomes.
But guess what? They can't bid for it because it was never on sale. It was never on sale. Their master plan is actually to turn the entire piece of landfill land into a solar farm, and also to ensure that all of the garbage trucks or the waste disposal machines are actually all EVs. Right. Okay. So that is their master plan. They do not plan to sell it to him. So he's already appealed, and it looks like he's hit a dead end.
Oh no!
Yeah. So the court through the
the council said no.
Okay.
Right. That's the latest that we've heard. He might be trying to do legal things because he's got investors willing to invest and back the process of getting the land and also doing the filtering of the land, like a forensic file, like just to kind of go through it, bring teams in and just do that, right?
Forensic data recovery.
Yes.
I want to ask a question. So I assume this was quite a few number of years ago when the hard drive was still like disk-based, as in platter-based.
Yeah.
Okay. How long do they last physically?
Well, one of the things that MTS Solutions does is they started in data recovery. So we have an expert here that can actually answer that question for us, Winston.
Absolutely. Okay. So, I mean, if this thing is out in a landfill, we can expect that the heads, the PCB, they're all gone, right?
Okay.
The good thing is the heads, the platters themselves should last 25 plus years, no problem.
Okay.
So long as they don't have physical damage.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
But the thing is if this thing is cracked, that
right.
even at $800 million, I mean.
I'm also asking the platter in an old hard drive. For you guys who don't know, like 10, 15 years ago, physical hard drives were like the big blocky metal things, right? And the disc, the platters, I heard it's in a vacuum. Is that correct?
They're airtight.
Airtight. Yeah. Okay, so there's no dust or anything like that, correct. So that could cause friction, whatever. Okay, so like I said, if it's not cracked, then it's okay up to maybe 20 plus years.
Yeah, so long as the physical platters are okay, this is possible. Everything else around the platters can be replaced.
Okay.
So since this isn't a junkyard, it's a good thing that they're not using magnets. Because if there was a magnet involved, it would be immediately erased.
Okay.
That's caliber magnet.
Right.
Like imagine.
It
picks up cars.
Magnet's not even the problem here. I mean, if this thing's getting picked up by one of those, I mean, you can almost guarantee it's going to shatter.
Smashed.
Yeah,
okay.
It's gone.
Right. So tough luck, dude. You should have picked someone less psycho. And she ruined your life.
However, if you do find it and want data recovery services,
hold on,
MTS Solutions will do it.
So you're saying that the guy has like $800 million worth of Bitcoin on the hard drive. Didn't he have like a backup key or a... Because it's on the blockchain, right? So he needs a key.
So it's in the cold wallet, though.
Yeah. It's gone.
It's in that
drive.
Yes, but as long as he got the backup keys...
You would hope he'd had a backup key. Clearly, he does not. I don't think you spend $8 million with a backup key somewhere.
Yeah.
Because, guys, for you guys who's just starting to go into Bitcoin, it's not the physical device that's really important. It's the backup keys. You could lose your device. In fact, I have a cold wallet in my wallet. If I lose my wallet, my wallet gets stolen, right? With the USB key.
Yeah.
I don't care about that. I can get a replacement USB, crypto USB device. I can then restore my cryptos back on there using my backup keys. So backup keys, guys, don't lose them.
Definitely. Now, I mean, imagine this wasn't, again, a number of years ago. That might not have been a technology.
Yes,
there were no backup keys.
That's right. Yeah. So back then they may not have efficient
Wasn't as sophisticated.
software or something that would generate those backup keys.
Right.
Mm.
My biggest question is, are they still together?
No,
Of course
no,
No, okay. Because I mean, that transcends all relationships.
no. They're once the hard drive went out the window or the rubbish, as they say in the UK,
Straight into the bin.
yeah, the relationship went into the bin. Okay, who's next? I think that's Mike. Back to Michael.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to cover these 5090 rumors.
Ooh.
So 5090s recently coming out. I was recently at CS, unveiling, Jensen came out, unveiled the 5090s at a remarkable $1,999 MSRP.
Mm-hmm.
If you could get it at MSRP, scalpers, of course, immediately moved in on those.
How much?
I'm seeing prices between $5,000 and $6,000 US dollars.
That's a lot of money.
Yep.
So not double, but almost triple the MSRP.
And the funny thing is that I heard that all of the 4090s that you would purchase 2 years ago, roughly, they have all gone up in price.
Yeah.
Right? They've appreciated in value.
They've appreciated. And I mean, for good reason. We're hearing 5090s aren't performing quite as good as they were going to.
Huh. Now, why is that?
There's a couple of things going on here. Some cards, the ROPs are, the exact numbers are missed to me right now, but they are coming in significantly lower in performance than they were supposed to.
The ROPs, ROPs are basically rendering units, right? So you need rendering units to render your graphics. So if those numbers are down, then you're not going to get fast enough rendering.
Right.
Right.
And this is significant enough that it puts a 5090, which was, rumored to be much, much faster than the 4090.
Yeah. So
sometimes below the 4090.
yeah, I heard that the ones actually with the lower ROPs are the cards which are made by some of the cheaper brands out there. So if you are going to get a 5090, go for a reputable brand like the big top four. Other smaller brands, skip them. Because those are the ones that basically how a lot of the production companies they do is they get a whole bunch of silicon, like the 5090 GPUs, and they get to pick the best ones with the full ROPs with full everything, and they put them on the best GPU cards, and they sell them for a premium, right?
Right.
And all the other silicons that are on the end, which are damaged or lower ROPs, they put them on the cheaper branded PCBs, and they go for the cheaper pricing. So
it's not like barbecue where the burnt ends are the pieces that you want. It's actually not so good in the silicon world.
No.
Yeah.
Right. So and then the other thing was, aren't some of the 5090s overheating? I heard.
Overheating. I'd say the bigger issue is the connector.
Yeah.
And if we've heard about this, sounds familiar. This is our second generation of connector problems, right?
Yeah.
So it's that 16-pin connector that isn't doing so well.
12VH WHPR, the 16-pin one, because there's so much power and wattage going through that cable that it just gets overloaded. I mean, that card 5090 is like 600 plus watts, right?
Yeah, easy.
So imagine that if you have a 750 watt power supply, forget it. Your system won't run it.
Hold on, I thought that was only a power delivery cable. Why does it have to have so many pins?
The 16 pins?
Yeah. Why?
So communication for load balancing.
Okay.
However, that's in theory, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the manufacturers right now, what you're coming to find is they're taking all those pins and in the end, they're just bridging them back together. So they're supposed to be the smart, intelligent.
Yeah.
And then in the end, it's not.
There's no point. Really.
It takes both the power supply manufacturer and the GPU manufacturer to agree on the standard, which as of so far, ATX does not, has not supported this until now. So it's you'd have to have the most recent power supply to accept this.
How many? Okay, so you're going to need a new power supply for your 5090. Some people would buy a new one anyway if they have like an 850. It's inadequate, right? Unless you have 1,000 watts. And then what's happening now is that you might have to buy one anyway because if you want all the features of being able to run that card at maximum performance.
For example, Stephen, you have a 1,000 watt power supply, right?
Okay, how much is the power supply then?
It's
with the 16-pin.
You can get them for like $100
with the bidirectional.
Yeah. Oh no. With the bidirectional technology, that's gonna put it like $300.
Oh,
it's a $300
okay,
power
that's
supply.
I'm like, you can buy them off marketplace for $50 for 5,000 watts.
I was gonna say because, like for example, if you guys got like 1,000 watt, like Stephen has 1,000 watt, think I can handle a 5090. Yeah, sure, but his power supply is not ATX 3.0, 3.1 and PCI 5 standard. That means that even if you get the 16-pin converter for your GPU. You might get burnt out. because
Right,
it hasn't
anyway.
got that correct.
So even my burly, sophisticated and sexy, be quiet German engineered power supply
Yeah.
would not be adequate.
That's right. You have to get a new one in. It has to be
That's sad.
PCI 5.1 standard,
Mhm.
ATX 3.1 standard on top of that, and looking at $200-$300 for those power supplies
Yeah.
to be safe.
So
Okay,
Sure.
so what's the okay? So for anyone that has a regular system, they're just upgrading. What's the limit? Can you go for 4000 series? Is that about it?
if you don't want to upgrade your power supply,
Yeah.
I would say 3,000.
3,000. If you
Series. Okay,
3,000 is
3,000
safe. I
series,
mean,
yeah.
even the 4090 has the same 16
machine.
pin standard.
Yeah, 16 pin.
So I couldn't even get a 4060 Ti if I wanted to.
Does a 4060 step down,
No,
or is
only
it still
4070 or above.
okay?
Okay.
4070 Ti I've seen with the
Mhm.
16 pin.
Okay, so I could have my 16 gigabyte 4060 Ti if I wanted
Max.
to.
Right.
Yeah.
And
There are card manufacturers are producing some of the GeForce RTX 40 series with the 8-pin standard, and
okay.
you have like 2 of them or 3 of them.
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's
Honestly, I preferred the 3 8 pins. Was no problem to me.
Yeah.
yeah.
The 16 pin, it's now we're on our second generation and we're still burning up cards.
Oh my god.
NVIDIA has been really good at warranting, but the thing is what's that RMA process right now? We can't even. You cannot go Canada Computers, Memory Express, Best Buy. I cannot go into a single store and get a 5090 or a 5080 for, let alone.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's they're not. Well, they're saying about 2 months time.
Okay. All right. Who's got
yeah.
the next story?
What have you got? I'm still thinking.
Okay. You're still thinking? Okay,
Yeah.
so you want to throw it back over to me, which means that you're going to end the show, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, so my next story is this. So I forgot, but I pulled it up earlier, and it's a good one.
Okay.
Once I refresh my memory over here, I just need to look at.
well,
the
you
thing.
did that.
Oh yes. Remember how last week or a week ago we were talking about how OpenAI was looking at different formats for employing their AI. Either it's a brand new re-engineer of silicon that is expressly optimized for their ChatGPT infrastructure, or it's a completely new device. You're going to wear it differently. It could be a comm badge. It could be like an arm thing that Batman uses where you can, pull up all your stuff. Like, what could the next generation interface be?
Right.
It is attached to Johnny Ive, who has actually been tapped for this task about 3 years ago to actually look into this to see what the next generation device would be. I still think it might be a phone of some kind. It's got to be maybe with a ChatGPT SoC that's engineered specifically to have everything. Like we noticed that, the A18, it's got the hardware on board, but it doesn't quite work right. Maybe this is the ChatGPT version.
Right.
So one of the things was comm badge. Okay. Now, we do know one company that actually tried that, Humane AI.
Right.
Okay. Now, Humane AI, they brought out this device that was, you wear it, right? But it was so heavy that if you wore it on your pocket, it would just flop, right? It's not even like the DJI mic that all the creators are using today, where you can clip it on a hat or clip it on your shirt. That thing was heavy as hell. And if you wanted more battery life, they sold a battery pack for it, which would make it even more heavy
Jeez.
and flop, right? So I'm like, okay, so maybe it's that, maybe it's not, but the next generation, right? Because we see it on Star Trek. It seems novel.
Yeah.
It seems like a good idea. It's just a little bit heavy. Well, that company has decided that they want it to sell, and the company that's buying it is HP, and HP is taking all their patents and everything like that,
Right.
and disassembling the company and then shutting it down instead of continuing it. So
HP is shutting it down.
yeah. So everyone that's bought at Humane AI for the last 90 days, since probably about U.S. Thanksgiving, around that time, you will get a full refund.
Okay.
So just just return it.
So what happens to the devices?
They go offline. In the next 4 months, they will go offline.
Like they're
Dead.
useless?
Useless. E-waste.
So HP's bought Humane AI.
Humane AI. Yep.
Humane AI,
The pin.
and they're using those patents to develop their own AI solution.
We don't know because there's a lot of patents there. There's like really great engineering for the devices. Potentially, just trying to get it lighter, smaller, shrinking it down. I mean, to Humane AI's credit, yes, the device overheated. Yes, it was too hot. Yes, it was too clunky to clip on your clothes and everything like that. But actual engineering, they did all the hard stuff first,
Right.
so that they wouldn't have to do it again, right? They just need to find materials and
And they
processes.
And they had the proper
Smart.
patent. Was this the first generation?
Yes, it was the first generation.
So they get first generation. HP comes in, says, "Ooh, this is interesting. You got good patents here. Let's buy it."
Yeah.
But then shut the product down.
they shut the product down completely.
What we call shelving.
They
basically.
put it on the shelf.
They shelved
So
it.
they have the patents, and they can take them out at any time. So
Or charge people.
or charge people for the patents, right?
License it
So-
out.
Licensing.
Potentially, is this the maybe it's a defensive move against OpenAI? Maybe they know something that we don't know,
Right.
right?
Well, they have a consumer brand and a gaming brand. So, those type of things are, good, I suppose, testing grounds for their devices if they have it, I suppose.
Maybe.
Could be.
Yeah, maybe. Because OpenAI, they don't even have any consumer products, have they, really?
Yeah.
So, like laptops and
Yeah.
gaming.
Right. Yeah. It's all software based, right?
So the purchase price is not $1 billion, as some people speculate. It's $116 million.
Oh, is that all?
That was a full deal, and they throw the keys away. Bye
Yeah.
to you guys.
Yeah.
Right. I
Yeah.
gotta say though, I mean, shutting down the service for, I mean, this it was just selling, right? So they're
Yeah.
offering refunds for
Yeah.
90 days if you purchased one
Yes.
recently.
Oh, by the way, when people, when big companies buy out smaller companies, they don't give them cash, generally. They give them shares.
So they're
So
HP shares.
They got 160 million, whatever, HP shares, probably.
Apparently it was
Or it could be cash and share deals, but
it was
cash.
cash.
Cash deal?
Oh, this was a cash deal.
Cash
Known
deal.
as AI panned for 116 million. Deal includes HP taking on most of Humane's employees. So the employees have somewhere to go, which is
okay.
I was worried about that.
Okay, that's good.
IP software platform and everything. So they will be swallowed up by them, but the actual business itself will no longer continue. That's basically it. They did not speculate what the actual monetary compensation was, but you might be absolutely correct. It would be part shares,
Yeah.
part cash,
Yeah.
just to kind of get the shareholders out of there.
Because
etc.
I say that because when I was working in GE, they do these deals. They actually have an acquisition team buying out certain companies that have certain IPs.
Right.
They, of course, if you cash rich company, then of course you can give them cash.
Yeah.
But they usually give you shares,
Yeah.
part cash, part shares.
Yeah.
that
I
kind
mean, it's a lot of capital move all at once.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And whenever it's a cash flow deal, it needs to be reported to the government. Whereas
Right.
if it's a share deal, then it doesn't get taxed. See,
There you go.
that's the reason why they do share deals.
So right now, everyone knows that HP is a huge partner of Microsoft. So Copilot is what they have as their AI and everything like that, right?
Right.
So what they're thinking about doing is they're bringing AI into the organization, and potentially they might actually have their own unique agent, like maybe a reskinned Copilot, specifically, like more bloatware,
Right.
AI bloatware.
What is the Copilot? Which model does it use?
It's its own.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
It's
Microsoft's own.
Microsoft's.
Okay, I forgot. So not based off ChatGPT or anything.
Yeah.
No, it's their own model. Not Gemini, not anything.
Yeah.
Cortana would be a better name,
I've missed Cortana.
like Cortana. So
Oh,
now they have,
Cortana.
yeah.
Cortana.
Yeah.
So now they have. They're going tangent. They're going into a quantum computing now. They just released the first generation of their
Majora.
Majora
Mm.
1, and it took 20 years for them to get to the stage.
Yeah.
And it is completely built in the U.S. It is a U.S.
I saw the
quantum
PCB. It says
computer.
made in
Yeah.
USA.
right? So it is a
How
PCB.
many, how many qubits has it got, apparently?
I'm not 100% sure. I just know that
I
it
heard
still
that
has.
it's scalable up to like 1 million qubits.
Oh wow.
Not that
Yeah.
particular chip, but it's
But the
scalable to
actual-
a bigger chip. Okay,
Right.
1 million qubits, man.
So we might have to have a quantum computing show because this is a completely different realm.
Oh
of
yeah.
stuff. This is
It's-
not stuff that goes under your desk. at
Yeah,
the
it's
moment.
not your ones and zeros. It's one and zeros and or plus both.
Or
Right.
14 million computations, and I picked these two.
Right. Superposition.
Yeah.
Did you know that film? Yeah, of course you watched it. It's the Avengers, right? And Doctor, Strange, and he's doing the calculations.
Yeah.
All these millions of possibilities. Now, that's quantum computing.
Yeah, there you go.
Pretty much.
There you go.
Okay.
You pick one possibility, one answer. One
Yeah,
solution.
that's the only solution. Sorry, guys. All right, you got the last one. Go for it.
All right, cooling.
Okay.
It sounds like a boring topic, but cooling, we need cooling, air conditioning in the summer.
AC, and we have someone here that actually knows everything
right.
about HVAC and everything. So
So that's it. We're talking about cooling in computers because computers need cooling, right?
Mhm.
And over the years, we talked about back in the day, Thermaltake, we had those golden orbs, right? The
Yes.
fan cool based ones. Nowadays, all the PCs are, most of them, if you are going to get one, it's just liquid cooling, right? All in ones, we call all in ones. Basically, the radiator, the fan, and the water block, which pumps all the liquid, it's all in one. And you can get them for about $100, $150, and more fancy ones, $200 plus.
200.
Yeah.
Our nephew, Rob Teller, over at Height, has one that's over $400.
Yes, with the LCD.
With an LCD screen.
Yeah, and all that kind of
Yes.
stuff. So cooling, yeah. So you're going to find a lot of PCs, new PCs now with all-in-one liquid solutions. Now, this is taken into liquid cooling came about from actual server.
Right.
First.
Yes.
Immersion cooling.
Yeah.
Yes.
So immersion cooling and all that kind of stuff. So with the server world, because it's a completely different topic, area, cooling for servers are completely different, right?
At this point, it's the same. You got a water block, you got a pump. It's just bigger scale.
Right. Do you see a lot more translation from air cooling to liquid cooling now?
Yes, it's a mandatory thing for
mandatory.
These AI cards are too hot.
Okay,
right?
okay.
We're getting to the point where we just cannot move enough air in the data center
Yeah,
anymore to keep these cool.
Because I remember going to those data centers, man, they was loud
Hot.
in there. Loud and hot.
Loud
So all
and
you could
hot.
hear is like,
Yep.
like the fans going
Yeah.
crazy. So liquid solution is mandatory. It's one of those better solutions than air.
Absolutely.
And we've seen them on the GPUs and all that kind of stuff,
Yep.
right?
No.
Okay.
And then what the benefit of cooling the GPU directly is that we can actually use a chiller. So the chiller is in the data center, what actually keeps the room cool, whether it's cooling air or cooling the liquid. Now we can actually just cool the liquid that's going to the GPU, right? So we'll run that through the unit.
So basically, all those tubings coming out,
Mhm.
say this is the GPU, right?
Right.
This is the GPU block of lots of slots of GPUs.
Right.
So the tubing's coming out into a separate chiller,
Right.
And it gets pumped back in.
Exactly. So instead of like in your computer where you've got the CPU, right, and you got your water going in there, heating up and going to a radiator,
Yeah.
it's going to essentially an air conditioner,
They're coming out, going back. All right.
cooling down. Yep.
Wow. Okay, so that kind of solution is probably cost quite a lot, right?
It's a cost effective,
Yeah.
but yeah,
But then with that, you can actually not just chill one system, and you can have another.
you're cooling
rack.
usually a whole room. With
Whole
this.
rack, right? Different. Okay, crazy. All right, but with that cooling, have you seen any advances in that, or is it just a pump and water block? Or is there other solutions?
Supermicro actually has some really cool technology on this.
Okay.
They've gotten to the point because this is enterprise, right? And we have to service these things. So we need quick disconnects.
Yeah, hit on
Right.
that one. So,
No leak, quick disconnects. You
Yeah.
pull that out, not a single
It
drop.
seals.
Right.
so you don't need to shut off the pump or anything like that. You just put it out, and it would like lock itself from
Yeah.
squirting.
Even if it's live running, right? You the server's on, the pump's on, you can disconnect, not a
okay.
single drop.
So this is the new thing. Maybe we'll see some of that technology shift over to PCs.
Yeah, I mean,
Normal.
the enterprise is where anything starts, right?
Yeah,
It starts from
yeah.
enterprise
That's right.
and it'll trickle down. The other cool thing is hot swappable pumps. So just like how you have those quick disconnect settings, Supermicro now has hot swappable pumps. You can pull those out, swap a pump while you have a secondary standby pump still running the system.
Right, because remember
nice.
these servers are running 24/7,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you can't have a server shut down just to replace a particular part in the pump.
And you're hot, so you have to move quick. They're hot.
Yeah. And then we seen those hot swappable fans back then. So I'm guessing now you have hot swappable pumps.
This
I
would be the
understand.
converted,
Okay.
yeah.
And then the other solution we've seen at Company X is that liquid immersion, completely
Yep.
submerged in that. Is it? I can't remember. It's fluorinated.
It's an
Fluoridated
oil-based,
water.
yeah.
There's two ones. There's either the oil-based one, but this one was using fluorinated, non-conductive liquid.
Yeah.
So it actually didn't have the viscosity, but it had the cooling property. So it's a lot like potentially because EVs have cooling systems for batteries. This is a non-conductive liquid that is it's got a very low something of it.
That's liquid cooling is also in EVs as well,
Yeah,
right?
that's why the stuff when you buy it from the dealer, it's like $60 a liter.
Wow.
But the liquid does it need to get replaced or refilled or topped up?
The dealerships will want you to refill it, but supposedly most of these systems, once they're topped off and sealed, they should last for the life.
It's hermetic, right? Close. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And immersion cooling in this data center, just because I'm not sure about the EVs, but We have about, probably about 100 liters of reserve.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
And then, but it doesn't evaporate. This is just for leaks or accidental spills. Generally, you will not lose any of that cooling.
Yeah, because I was a friend of ours in BC, also have something similar for their servers for cooling, right? They have a liquid-based kind of cooling solution.
Which
DC?
friends?
Uh-huh.
BC. I'm trying to
Where they
think.
do a lot of video work.
Oh, over at Linus?
Yeah.
Are they?
They have one?
You would know.
No, they have liquid cooled
Yeah.
servers. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah.
don't have immersion cooled.
They don't have immersion
liquid
cooled.
cooled.
Yeah.
But I think I saw an episode where they did the quick disconnect models
Yeah.
that they have. Okay.
There's a couple of even on the gaming side, there's some quick disconnects. EK, Bits Power, I believe, also.
Yeah.
They're trying to circle it in there. Now, to get quick disconnect with zero drip technology, however they word that, that's expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about $50 a fitting.
Just for the...
Right.
Yeah, because it has to close immediately once you pull. It's like
I
a
think it's
double
to do
mechanism.
with it somehow got it senses the pressure
Mm.
of the liquid. So as soon as it senses the pressure, it just locks it.
Oh, it's just
Yeah.
spring back. It's commercial grade hardware at that
Yeah.
point, right?
But it's very good for consumer side as well too, because consumers will do everything to mess up their stuff.
Yeah,
Right,
I love to have this type of technology in a consumer, because then I'd be able to hot swap my graphics card, swap my GPU and
Yes.
CPU, no problem, right? Because
Liquid cooled hot swappable components would be great instead
Yeah.
of having to replumb everything.
oh yeah, because I
bend
have to.
tubes
They
and-
have a special outlet just to drain liquid out. Once you've drained it, then you can dismantle it.
Yeah.
Right now, you can't do anything. Once it's in place, that's it. It's locked in place.
Mm.
The GPU water block and like tubing. So yeah, that'd be good, because I could just whip it out and upgrade.
Yeah.
Okay. So we promised that we
Yeah.
would talk about Japan at the end. So as you can see, this person right here, Michael Barton, he is not Japanese.
No.
But how is he a Japanese citizen? Can you tell us more?
Ooh, you want to get into that? Okay.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Very special circumstance. I am naturalizing to Japanese, not through the standard 10-year process. So typically, if you want to become a Japanese citizen, you'd go to Japan on a visa, and you must be in Japan for 10 whole years.
10 years, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So these different countries apply differently. In Japan, it's 10 years.
Mhm.
In Japan, before you can apply for
Naturalization, which
Yeah.
is you getting your citizenship,
Okay.
right? I guess we're going to talk about it. Yeah, I was offered directly from the Fukushima Council to become naturalized immediately. I have not logged 10 years. I've actually never even had a visa of Japan. However, Japan's looking for smart tech people, right? And what's better than being in AI, IT, and facilities? I think we actually hit all three of them.
Yes.
And I was honorably offered citizenship, skipping the process completely.
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty unheard of in Japan, because they're pretty strict in terms of that kind of
Yeah.
But yeah,
It
congrats.
has
And-
never been offered before.
it's never been offered.
So he will be cleaning the reactor at Fukushima. That's why they want him there.
To get
Because he's going to die real fast.
Geiger counter.
With that radiation badge.
Is it why is this black? Is this a new color? Yeah. Oh, yeah. No problem. It's good. Good.
No, it is a very fortunate situation. So I will. Japan doesn't allow dual citizenship.
No,
So-
it doesn't.
I will
What does
actually,
that mean?
I will be giving up my U.S. citizenship for
Wow.
my Japanese citizenship.
Oh.
That's a big decision.
That
right?
is a big decision. I have an ex-colleague of mine who did that. It's a big decision.
Okay.
It's
But the Japanese passport is actually one of the most powerful in the world.
Yes.
So-
Believe it or not, more powerful than my U.S. passport.
And that means that you can proudly put a Japanese flag on the back of your backpack.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
As I should.
yes, yeah.
Very good. Okay, and that's our show for this week. Thank you, Michael, for joining us for the show. He's actually going to join us for another show talking about another Japanese topic, which is anime, coming up very soon. All right, until next week. Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.